Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome to the sacred journey of Kal Mantra, Embrace Divine Grace. Let the celestial vibrations uplift your spirit and guide you toward inner peace, abundance, and divine blessings. Open your heart, chant with devotion, and awaken the infinite grace within you.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we plunge into fascinating sources and unearth those hidden nuggets of knowledge that truly make you rethink your understanding of the world. Today, we're embarking on a journey into ancient wisdom, a story that boldly challenges our conventional ideas about power, purity, and, well, the very nature of divine intervention itself.
It really does.
We're not just scratching the surface here, we're diving headfirst into a narrative that promises to be as thought-provoking as it is, frankly, unique.
Indeed, we're exploring a deeply compelling and quite radical narrative drawn from ancient Hindu texts, specifically the Vinayaka Rahasya and the Mudgal Purana.
Okay.
Our focus is on a powerful and profoundly unique avatar, Ucchista Mahaganapati. And this isn't just a simple mythological tale,
Right.
It's a multi-layered journey into how cosmic balance is meticulously and often very unexpectedly restored through means that really defy conventional understanding. It's, I think, a story designed to shake up our assumptions.
Okay, let's unpack this for you, our listener. Our mission today is to understand the intricate saga of an Asura, a powerful demon whose seemingly foolproof plan for immortality threatened to, well, unravel the very fabric of the cosmos.
A classic trope, but with a twist.
Exactly. We'll explore the extraordinary, almost shocking lengths the divine went to defeat him, culminating in the manifestation of a deity born from what many would consider sacred leftovers.
That's the key part, the leftovers.
Prepare yourselves, because this deep dive is going to reveal some truly surprising facts and profound insights you certainly won't find in typical retellings of divine lore.
We'll meticulously examine the complex and frankly bizarre conditions set for this powerful demon's demise. Conditions so peculiar, he'd leave them to be an ironclad guarantee of his invincibility. Then we'll delve into the unprecedented, even you could say transgressive methods the divine employed to restore cosmic order. And finally, the rich symbolic significance of a divine couple whose very presence and actions shatter not only the foundations of evil, but also challenge human perceptions of what is considered sacred or profane.
Wow.
This deep dive will hopefully offer you a shortcut to understanding a rich, often overlooked, and truly radical aspect of ancient wisdom.
Okay, so every truly great epic, every profound saga, needs a formidable antagonist, right? A character whose ambition and power are so immense they threaten to consume everything.
Absolutely essential.
Our story begins with just such a figure. Vidyaavan, an Asura whose ambition knew absolutely no bounds. He sought ultimate power, but what kind of power was he really after, and how did he try to secure a grip on it so absolute that it would make him, untouchable?
Well, Vidyaavan wasn't content with mere mortal power, not at all. His ambition was cosmic in scale.
Okay.
To achieve this, he undertook an extremely rigorous penance known in the scriptures as Ghor Tapasya.
Ghor Tapasya. That sounds intense.
Oh, it is. This wasn't a casual prayer or a short meditation. Ghor Tapasya implies an intense, often self-mortifying practice, pushing physical and mental limits to an extreme, all designed to compel the attention and favor of a deity.
And who was he directing this towards?
In this case, his devotion was directed towards Lord Brahma, the creator.
Right, Brahma.
So when Brahma, pleased by Vidyaavan's unwavering dedication and immense sacrifice, appeared before him and offered boons, Vidyaavan's requests were, well, they weren't just strategic, they were meticulously calculated. Utterly comprehensive. It really reveals the terrifying depth of his ambition for absolute dominion.
So he wasn't just asking for, super strength or something simple. He wanted a complete takeover, didn't he? What were the specifics of these boons, these demands that would let him control not just physical realms, but intellectual and spiritual ones too?
Exactly. He wanted it all. Firstly, he desired complete victory over the Tridev Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva themselves, and all other celestial deities.
Wow, that's huge. Over the Tridev.
Staggering, isn't it? Essentially asking for supremacy over the entire pantheon. But his ambition didn't stop at just martial prowess.
Okay, what else?
He also sought to be the ultimate master of the Vedas, a Paramjnani, signifying a profound and unchallenged command over all sacred knowledge, basically making him intellectually invincible.
Paramjnani. master of the Vedas.
And to further cement this intellectual dominance, he wished to possess such unparalleled wisdom that he could defeat any logician, any Yuktvadi in debate.
So unbeatable in battle and debate.
Precisely. And of course, the grand prize for any truly ambitious Ashura, the cornerstone of his perceived invincibility, he asked for immortality itself.
Immortality, the classic, the ultimate boon. It's the go-to request, isn't it? The single desire that promises to lift one beyond the cycle of life and death, beyond consequences.
It always is.
But Brahma, as the great dispenser of boons, always seems to have a way of introducing limitations or conditions, even when granting such immense power. It's almost like the cosmic order has its own built-in safeguards.
That's a recurring theme.
So here's where it gets really interesting. What was the catch this time? How did Brahma, while granting such immense power, ensure that there was still, a sliver of hope for cosmic balance?
You're absolutely right. Brahma, in his divine wisdom, rarely grants truly unconditional immortality. It just threatens the delicate cosmic balance too much.
Okay.
So he granted Vidyaavan all his wishes except outright unconditional immortality.
So no blank check.
Exactly. This forced Vidyaavan, who is clearly not just powerful but also incredibly cunning, to devise a condition for his death so bizarre, so specific, and so utterly unconventional that he believed it made him effectively immortal anyway.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What was this bizarre condition?
He stated that his demise could only come at the hands of a being with an animal's head and a human body.
Animal head, human body. Okay, like Ganesha. But there must be more.
Oh yes, this being also had to be a supreme Vedic scholar.
Okay, that's already a strange combination. An animal-headed scholar.
Wildly unusual, even for these kinds of stories. It makes finding or creating such a being seem, well, almost impossible.
I can almost picture Vidyaavan's smug grin, thinking he'd outsmarted the universe.
Yeah.
But he didn't stop there, did he? He truly wanted to stack the deck, layering conditions upon conditions to guarantee his perceived invincibility. What other audacious demands did he make?
Not at all. He kept going. His conditions became even more unconventional, pushing the boundaries of what is considered ritually pure or socially acceptable, making his slayer's existence seem utterly paradoxical.
More unconventional. How so?
This being, in addition to the animal head, human body, and Vedic scholarship, must also behave like an animal.
Behave like an animal. What does that even mean in this context?
The texts imply primal, perhaps unrestrained behavior. But wait, there's more.
Of course there is.
He demanded that this being appear naked in Vidyaavan's royal assembly.
Naked. In court.
Naked. And engage in coitus, or rati krita, with his wife right there in front of everyone.
Hold on. What coitus? In the assembly.
Shocking, right? And he wasn't done. This being must also consume both meat, mansa, and wine, Madeira, all while simultaneously defeating Vidyaavan in a logical debate.
Okay, I need to pause there for a moment. These conditions, they're not just specific, they're designed to be utterly transgressive in a traditional Vedic context. Nakedness, meat, wine, public coitus, these are actions that deeply challenge conventional notions of purity and decorum.
Precisely. It's almost as if he was daring the divine to break every rule just to defeat him.
So he wasn't just being clever, he was being provocative.
Exactly. He was setting conditions that seemed not only physically impossible for a single being to fulfill, but also morally and ritually outrageous for any divine or virtuous entity. He was essentially saying, to defeat me, you must become everything that is considered impure, undignified, and transgressive.
And Brahma.
Brahma, bound by his word once a boon is requested and granted, had no choice but to grant this peculiar, seemingly impossible set of conditions. So Vidyaavan, now with such an intricate and seemingly unfulfillable set of requirements for his death, truly believed he was invincible, utterly secure.
So, with those extraordinary powers now at his command, victory over the gods, supreme Vedic knowledge, unmatched logic, and perceived immortality through these bizarre conditions, what does this all mean for the universe? How did Vidyaavan wield his newfound unchallenged might? How did this seemingly foolproof plan impact reality?
Well, feeling absolutely invincible, as you can imagine, Vidyaavan wasted no time. He launched a devastating conquest that quickly plunged the cosmos into an unprecedented era of darkness. He attacked and swiftly defeated all three worlds, the Triloka heavens, earth, and the lower realms, and subjugated all the other deities, forcing them into exile, imprisonment, or submission.
Total domination.
But his true target, reflecting his desire for ultimate knowledge and control, went deeper than mere physical conquest. He aimed for the very heart of spiritual power.
Which was?
He targeted Vidmata Saraswati, the revered goddess of knowledge, and the sacred Vedas themselves, which he imprisoned.
He imprisoned knowledge itself.
Essentially, yes. And this act wasn't just symbolic. It had catastrophic, tangible consequences for the entire cosmos. It crippled its spiritual lifeblood. It was an assault on the fundamental fabric of spiritual reality, a kind of cosmic censorship.
Capturing the source of all knowledge, that's a power move beyond just military might, isn't it? It's not just about winning battles. It's about controlling the very essence of understanding, spiritual practice, the cosmic order itself.
Absolutely. Imagine a world where all libraries are burned, all teachers silenced.
What was the immediate impact? What was it like living under this famine of devotion you mentioned earlier?
The impact was devastating, a true cosmic spiritual famine. With Vidmata Saraswati and the Vedas held captive, all spiritual knowledge, all divine wisdom vanished. It was as if the cosmic library had been locked away, its keys thrown into an abyss.
No way to practice religion.
None. This led to a complete cessation of all sacred practices, no sadhanas, no mantra chanting, no yajnas, absolutely no prayers. The texts describe it vividly as a bhaktika akal, a famine of devotion engulfing the universe.
And this affected the gods directly.
Critically, the deities draw their very power and sustenance from the devotion and offerings of their worshippers. Without that flow of spiritual sustenance, they began to weaken significantly, their divine energies dwindling. The spiritual ecosystem of the universe was collapsing.
Pushing creation to the brink.
To the brink of annihilation, yeah.
The ultimate hubris. He cuts off the spiritual power source, starves the gods, weakens them, and then takes the final step, declaring himself the supreme god, banishing the deities.
The universe was truly in an unprecedented crisis, teetering on the edge. It wasn't just about defeating a demon anymore, it was about saving the very concept of dharma, of cosmic righteousness and balance.
Faced with this existential crisis, with knowledge lost, the gods weakened, Vidyaavan seemingly invincible. What was the divine response? How do you fight a foe whose very conditions for defeat seem impossible, even paradoxical, to meet?
The situation called for an extraordinary solution, something entirely unprecedented. Conventional methods were clearly futile.
So who stepped up?
Lord Shiva, known as the great orchestrator of cosmic balance, destruction, and transformation, recognized the gravity of the crisis. He suggested performing a grand yajna, a sacred fire ritual.
A yajna? But how?
Well, not as a conventional prayer for specific boons. Instead, it was to be a collective act of seeking divine guidance, a desperate plea to find a way forward when all traditional paths were blocked.
A last resort, essentially.
Pretty much. All the deities, weakened and despondent, readily agreed. They recognized this as their last and only hope to restore Dharma and their own power.
And who were the key players in this crucial last-ditch ritual? The selection must have been critical.
Indeed. Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati, the divine couple representing the ultimate balance of cosmic energies.
Consciousness and nature.
Exactly. They took on the most significant roles as the main yajman, the principal performers of the sacrifice. Their participation signified the highest divine intent.
And the priest, who guided the ritual.
For the critical role of the chief ritvij, the officiating priest who guides the intricate rituals and chants the sacred mantras, the esteemed Rishi Ganakacharya was appointed.
Ganakacharya. His wisdom must have been crucial.
His profound wisdom, spiritual acumen, and perhaps, as we'll see, his capacity for radical thinking were indispensable for such an unconventional and desperate undertaking.
But here's the central paradox, right? The very essence of a yajna is its reliance on precise Vedic mantras, specific offerings, deep spiritual knowledge drawn from the scriptures. How do you perform a Vedic ritual when the Vedas themselves are imprisoned by Vidyaavan? No mantras, no traditional offerings, no established knowledge. It's a classic catch-22.
Exactly. That was the critical dilemma that threatened to derail their only hope. With Vidmata Saraswati and the Vedas inaccessible, the traditional knowledge of which mantras to use, the proper sequence, the deities to invoke it, was all lost.
So what did they do?
This is precisely where Rishi Ganakacharya's insight proved not just pivotal, but truly revolutionary. His genius lay in understanding that true devotion and spiritual power reside beyond mere ritualistic adherence.
Beyond the rules.
Yes, it lies in the fundamental connection to the divine source. He proposed an incredibly innovative and unorthodox solution that completely bypassed the conventional limitations imposed by Vidyaavan.
Okay, let's unpack this. A ritual without its traditional texts. What was Ganakacharya's stroke of genius? His brilliant deviation that offered a way forward. How did he propose to conduct a powerful yajna under such impossible conditions?
Ganapati's stroke of genius came from a deep understanding of the ultimate source, the primordial energy that predates all codified knowledge. He suggested that instead of specific, lost Vedic mantras, they should direct their worship to the best supreme lord, Svanandeshwar.
Svanandeshwar.
He describes Svanandeshwar not just as a deity, but as the ultimate foundational source from whom all deities, all creation, all universes have originated, the very wellspring of all power and existence.
So go straight to the source.
Exactly. The radical idea was to compose entirely new praises, stuti, hymns, stotra, and mantras specifically for Svanandeshwar and offer oblations with these newly composed invocations.
Wow, creating new mantras on the spot.
It was an act of pure spiritual improvisation, a fresh act of creation and devotion, unburdened by the specifics Vidyaavan had locked away. They were appealing directly to the root, bypassing the corrupted branches.
That's a profound philosophical shift, isn't it? Bypassing conventional knowledge to appeal directly to the root of existence. It's like going back to the source code when the compiled program is corrupted.
Precisely. Or finding an entirely new operating system, maybe. It was an acknowledgement that even when specific knowledge or the established rules are lost, the fundamental source of all power remains eternal and accessible.
Untouchable by Vidyaavan.
Exactly. By connecting directly to Svanandeshwar, they were tapping into an uncorrupted foundational energy.
And the other deities accepted this radical idea.
All the deities, witnessing the profound wisdom and inherent logic in this audacious approach, accepted the proposal. The yajna was completed according to this new, unconventional method. It really highlights a remarkable adaptability and inherent wisdom within spiritual traditions, doesn't it? Finding paths even when conventional routes are blocked.
It shows that true devotion can manifest even without the established scripts. Sometimes innovation is the highest form of tradition.
Well put.
So the yajna was performed. The deities, led by Shiva and Parvati, guided by Rishi Ganapati, invoked Svanandeshwar with new hymns and prayers, bypassing Vidyaavan's blockade. What happened next? What emerged from this unprecedented act of devotion and innovation? How did it start setting the stage for Vidyaavan's downfall?
Upon the completion of the yajna and the final offering, the Purnahuti, a truly miraculous and utterly unique event occurred, just as Ganapati had perhaps hoped.
Okay. What was it?
From the sacred fire pit, the Yajna Kund, Lord Svanandeshwar himself manifested in his complete Digambar form, that is, entirely naked, taking on the powerful avatar of Ucchista Mahaganapati.
Naked, a direct manifestation.
A direct physical manifestation of the ultimate divine, embodying both primordial purity and, yes, a stark, almost provocative challenge to conventional decorum.
A naked form that's immediately striking, especially in divine manifestations, which are often shown with elaborate adornments, What's the significance of appearing in such a raw, unadorned state? And why would all the deities, even the Tridev, recognize and bow to him? That speaks volumes.
Indeed. A Digambar form is intensely symbolic in many Indian traditions. Nakedness can represent liberation from worldly attachments, transcending the ego, or a state of absolute purity beyond societal norms of dress.
Okay.
Here, it served a dual purpose. It directly fulfilled one of Vidyaavan's bizarre conditions that his slayer appear naked.
Ah, right, the naked condition.
And simultaneously, it symbolized a raw, unconditioned, divine power operating outside human judgments of appropriate display. The sheer, overwhelming power and undeniable divinity of Ucchista Mahaganapati were instantly recognizable.
So everyone knew who this was.
Immediately, all the deities, including the supreme Tridev Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and Mata Shakti, the Divine Mother, paid the profound respects, prostrating before him. His presence was absolute. They then recounted the entire harrowing story, Vidyaavan's tyranny, his impossible boons, the cosmic crisis, the desperation that led to the yajna. This was the moment their prayers culminated, the divine answer.
And what was Ucchista Mahaganapati's first instruction? Knowing the full story, especially Vidyaavan's conditions involving leftovers and unconventional actions, how did he start laying the groundwork for fulfilling those very specific terms?
His instruction, delivered immediately, was again quite unconventional, setting the tone. He specifically asked Rishi Ganapati to make 11 more oblations.
11 more? Why?
But with a crucial and deeply symbolic twist. These offerings were to be made using the remaining yajna material, what is called Ucchista Yagyadravya, or the sacred leftovers from the initial grand sacrifice.
Ucchista. Sacred leftovers. But isn't Ucchista usually considered, like, impure? Leftover food, remnants?
Exactly, that's the radical point. The term typically refers to remnants, often considered impure, something usually discarded from ritual contexts. Its deliberate use here, in a sacred context, profoundly challenges conventional notions of purity and impurity.
So it's saying divine power can come from the impure.
It indicates that salvation and divine power can indeed arise from the most unexpected, even unconventional, and ritually impure sources. It's a radical redefinition of sacredness itself.
So from these leftovers, this Ucchista material, something usually cast aside, something even more incredible emerges, tying directly into Vidyaavan's impossible conditions. It's like the divine plan isn't just to defeat him, but to turn his own twisted logic against him.
Exactly. The narrative reveals these intricate layers. Every seemingly transgressive act is laden with profound meaning.
So what happened after these 11 Ucchista oblations?
After these 11 highly symbolic oblations were offered, a divine, radiant woman emerged from the Yajna Kund.
Another manifestation.
Yes. Her appearance was described as beautiful yet simultaneously fierce, even Pishan, signifying a powerful, unyielding energy.
Fierce. Okay.
Her complexion was like a blue lotus, Nil Kamal, which led to her being named Nil Saraswati, linking her to knowledge, but in a fiercely active way, not passively imprisoned like Vedmata Saraswati was.
Nil Saraswati. Blue Lotus Saraswati. And she had other names too, right? Reflecting her unique origin and role.
Yes, her names are deeply significant. Because she emerged from the Ucchista, the leftover material, she was also called Ucchista Shandal.
Ucchista Shandal. Shandal usually refers to an outcast, doesn't it?
It does, and using that name here further emphasizes her fierce, unconventional aspect. It's a deliberate challenge to rigid social and ritual hierarchies, showing divine power isn't bound by human distinctions of status or purity.
Wow. So deliberately provocative names.
Very. And crucially, her primary role was to aid Ucchista Mahaganapati in slaying Vidyaavan and to be the savior, or Taran, of all creation. This earned her the powerful name Tara, meaning she who liberates.
Ucchista Shandal, Nil Saraswati, Tara. Multifaceted.
Absolutely. Born from the unconventional, fierce in resolve, and ultimately a liberator.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Ucchista Mahaganapati, the naked animal-headed deity born from the Yajna, immediately accepted Devi Nil Saraswati, this fierce goddess born from leftovers, as his wife. And she, in turn, accepted him as her husband. A divine union born from such unique, even provocative circumstances, directly foreshadowing the fulfillment of Vidyaavan's bizarre conditions about, well, coitus in the assembly.
It's almost a cosmic setup, isn't it? This divine marriage was absolutely central to the unfolding plan. It wasn't just a personal union, but a cosmic strategy.
Symbolizing.
The union of ultimate consciousness and primal energy, Purusha and Prakriti, but in a form that specifically defied Vidyaavan's rigid worldview.
And the narrative clarifies relationships too, right? The mental parents thing.
Yes, intricate, spiritually adopted relationships. Ucchista Mahaganapati regarded Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati as his mental parents, Manas Mata Pita, acknowledging their role in his manifestation.
A spiritual connection, not biological.
Exactly. Similarly, Rishi Ganakacharya, who was instrumental in her manifestation, accepted Devi Nil Saraswati as his mental daughter, Manas Putri.
So, a divine family forged by crisis and purpose.
Bound by deep spiritual connections.
It's truly fascinating, this concept of spiritual adoption.
Yeah.
And Rishi Ganakacharya seems pivotal again, moving from chief priest to spiritual father. What was his specific contribution to the marriage ceremonies, and what did it earn him?
His role expanded significantly. He took the lead in explaining all the intricate aspects of the divine marriage ceremonies to the assembled deities, who must have been quite bewildered.
I bet.
More importantly, he listened intently to their diverse suggestions and opinions for the wedding, which must have been complex, given the circumstances. He then skillfully reconciled their viewpoints, bringing them into unity and harmony, ensuring the ceremony proceeded with cosmic consensus.
A harmonizer.
Exactly. This remarkable ability to understand, explain, synthesize differing opinions, and navigate complex spiritual dynamics earned him a most esteemed title, Matanga.
Matanga Rishi, a recognition of his wisdom and role.
Profound wisdom, his role as a spiritual harmonizer, and his capacity to see the divine in unconventional forms.
So, if Ganakacharya became Matanga Rishi, what does that mean for Devi Nil Saraswati, his mental daughter? How did this connection define her further?
Well, due to her connection as the mental daughter of the newly designated Matanga Rishi, Devi Nil Saraswati naturally came to be affectionately known as Matangi.
Matangi. Okay, I know that name.
It highlights the symbolic fluidity of these divine relationships. Roles and names shift to reflect connections and events. The name Matangi signifies her relationship to Ganakacharya, but also reinforces her unique, powerful, sometimes unconventional aspect, embodying the wisdom that reconciles contradictions.
So now we have our powerful, unconventional divine couple, Ucchista Mahaganapati and Devi Matangi, fully established, ready to restore Dharma.
Ready to restore Dharma not through conventional means, but by completely subverting expectations.
Right. With the divine couple established and their unique spiritual lineage affirmed, a new chapter began. Ucchista Mahaganapati proceeded to reveal a profound and potent spiritual path to the assembled rishis.
More than just a battle plan. Much more. A lasting spiritual legacy. He taught them an extremely mysterious Atyant Rohashame, secret Gut, an incredibly powerful Atyant Shaktishali way of devotion and spiritual practice, known specifically as the Ucchista Tantra.
Ucchista Tantra, okay. Given the name Ucchista, meaning leftovers or impure, this sounds different.
It is. This was a direct, esoteric teaching born from the circumstances of his manifestation, designed to address the spiritual void Vidyaavan created and operate outside the conventional, imprisoned Vedic frameworks.
Calling it mysterious, secret, and powerful certainly sparks curiosity. For listeners familiar with Tantra, what distinguishes Ucchista Tantra? What sets it apart, especially given its origin from leftovers and its association with deities who challenge traditional decorum? It sounds truly radical.
That's a crucial question. The Ucchista Tantra is radical precisely because it operates by embracing, rather than avoiding, elements often considered taboo, impure, or transgressive in other, more orthodox traditions.
Embracing the taboo.
Yes. It acknowledges that all of existence, including the raw, the primal, and even the seemingly profane, contains divine energy. It's a path that deliberately challenges conventional dualities of pure and impure, sacred and profane, in order to transcend them.
How so? What kind of practices?
Practitioners might engage in specific meditations, visualizations, or even ritual actions that deliberately subvert societal norms to access deeper levels of consciousness and harness potent, undifferentiated cosmic energy. It's about recognizing divinity is omnipresent, not just in the ritually sanctioned, but also in the Ucchista, the leftovers, the discarded, the unconventional.
So finding the sacred and the profane.
Essentially, it's a path for those willing to look beyond surface appearances and engage with the totality of reality, often involving intense self-discipline and a profound understanding of symbolism. It's not about license, it's about transformation through embracing the whole.
So this wasn't just about defeating Vidyaavan. It was about providing a new, powerful spiritual framework for cosmic renewal. What was the immediate impact of this Ucchista Tantra on the spiritual health of the universe? Did it work?
The impact was immediate and profoundly transformative, like a spiritual spring after a long winter. Through the dedicated practice of Ucchista Tantra Sadhana, bhakti, prayer, worship directed towards Ucchista Mahaganapati and Matangi Dharma began its gradual but powerful return.
The famine of devotion ended.
It did. As these new practices resumed, the flow of devotion was reestablished, albeit through unconventional channels. Consequently, the deities, who had been severely weakened, started regaining their power and energy, revitalized by this new, potent form of spiritual sustenance.
So it wasn't just a military victory planned, but a spiritual renewal.
Absolutely. A re-energizing of the entire cosmic ecosystem through a powerful new form of devotional practice that dared to challenge norms.
Vidyaavan, seeing his empire of darkness crumble as Dharma returned and the gods regained strength, he must have been absolutely furious. His perceived invincibility was being challenged.
Indeed, Vidyaavan became enraged. His hubris couldn't comprehend it. The return of divine power through this new tantra was anathema to him. He couldn't tolerate it.
And he still had that debate clause in his boon.
Exactly. He prided himself on his intellectual prowess, remembering his slayer must defeat him in logical debate. So, true to his boast, he defiantly challenged Ucchista Mahaganapati to a yuktivad, a logical debate, in his assembly.
Still confident he could win that.
Supremely confident. He believed this was the one arena where he was truly unbeatable despite the other bizarre conditions. A critical miscalculation born of arrogance. He just didn't grasp the deeper subversive strategy.
This is the moment of reckoning, isn't it?
Yeah.
The stage is perfectly set for the fulfillment of that incredibly specific and bizarre boon. Every single condition had to be met. The fate of the cosmos hangs in the balance. How did Ucchista Mahaganapati and Devi Matangi make their dramatic and no doubt utterly shocking entrance?
This is perhaps the most striking and crucial part of the entire story. It directly, meticulously, and provocatively fulfills every single condition of Vidyaavan's boon.
Okay.
Ucchista Mahaganapati and Devi Matangi entered Vidyaavan's assembly naked in their complete Digambar forms.
Naked, check.
And, most strikingly, in a posture of coitus, sambag kimutramin.
Whoa, okay, coitus in the assembly, check. Animal head, check. How about behaving like an animal and consuming meat and wine?
This visually unprecedented and overtly transgressive scene was a deliberate and powerful act. It meticulously matched the conditions. The animal-headed being, Ucchista Mahaganapati, behaving like an animal, implied by the primal, unconventional nature of the whole display, appearing naked, engaging in sexual activity with his wife in the assembly. The consumption of meat and wine is often understood symbolically within tantric contexts associated with such figures, or implied through the rejection of conventional purity norms, thus fulfilling those aspects too, albeit perhaps not literally in that moment.
So the whole scene fulfilled everything.
It was a complete subversion of Vidyaavan's power, transforming his perceived invincibility, based on those very conditions, into his ultimate inescapable vulnerability. The divine reclaiming control by embracing the very taboos Vidyaavan used to insulate himself.
The power of the divine feminine comes into full display here too, doesn't it? Devi Matangi, born from leftovers, now standing naked with her consort, actively engaged in this act, confronting the tyrant. What happened when Matangi faced Vidyaavan?
Upon seeing Vidyaavan, Devi Matangi, the fierce goddess, let out an incredibly potent and ferocious roar, a hunkar.
A roar.
Not merely a sound, it was a primal emanation of divine fury, a concentrated burst of Shakti that instantly drained all of Vidyaavan's accumulative strength, his magical prowess, his intellectual arrogance, all gone.
Just like that.
Instantly. He was rendered utterly powerless, his energies dissipating, and he momentarily fainted, Murchit Hojatahai, collapsing from the sheer force of her divine wrath. A complete mental and physical incapacitation.
Stripped bare by her power.
Preparing him for the final act.
So, with Vidyaavan incapacitated, rendered powerless, the stage was perfectly set, the final conditions could be met.
Yeah.
This must have been a moment of cosmic catharsis.
Yes, precisely. The moment of culmination. Divine strategy meeting ultimate justice. Ucchista Mahaganapati then intervened to revive Vidyaavan.
Revive him, why?
To ensure he was conscious and fully aware, crucial for fulfilling the very last condition. The logical debate.
The debate.
He then swiftly and decisively defeated Vidyaavan in the intellectual contest, the Yuktivad, the very arena the Ursura prided himself on.
Beaten at his own game.
Completely. Having meticulously met all the complex, unconventional, and seemingly impossible conditions, animal head, Vedic scholar, animal behavior, nakedness, coitus in assembly, implicit consumption, and winning the debate, Ucchista Mahaganapati then rightfully and justly slayed Vidyaavan.
Down the result.
This monumental act freed all the deities, Vedmata Saraswati, the Vedas, and the entire creation from fear, worry, and doubt. Cosmic order and dharma were definitively restored once again. #outro.
Wow. Just wow. What an incredible journey we've taken through the story of Ucchista Mahaganapati and Devi Matangi. It's a tale that truly redefines how we might think about divine intervention, power, and even our own ideas of purity and impurity.
It really does turn things on their head.
What stands out to you as the most profound takeaway from this deep dive? The core insight.
For me, what's truly profound here is the underlying philosophical statement. That rigid adherence to form, even sacred form or conventional purity, can actually be a prison. It shows that true divinity operates beyond these conventional dualities, pure impure, high-low. This isn't just about a deity emerging from leftovers, it's a radical redefinition of sacred itself. It suggests that liberation, whether cosmic or personal, often requires breaking rules, subverting expectations, and finding the divine not just in the temple, but in the wilderness, the unconventional, even the transgressive.
So, embracing what we're taught to reject.
Sometimes, yes. It's a reminder that the most direct path to restoring balance might involve exactly that.
That's a powerful thought. So if the divine actively embraces the impure and the unconventional to restore cosmic balance, what does this tell us about our own societal constructs of purity? In our cultural norms, professional expectations, even personal identities, we often cling to rigid ideas of what's right or proper. Is there a lesson here about the transformative power of embracing the leftovers in our own life?
The parts we hide or discard.
Yeah, the unconventional talents or experiences. Could those actually hold the key to our unique strengths, our unexpected solutions, or our own path to genuine liberation? The sheer strategic brilliance in fulfilling Vidyaavan's boon is just astounding too. It's a testament to how even the cleverest attempts at self-preservation can be turned against you.
Absolutely. Transforming the very conditions of one's strength into the tools of one's downfall. It challenges us to look beyond superficial appearances, question our conditioned responses.
Right.
It reminds us there's always more to learn, and multiple perspectives, even uncomfortable ones, profoundly enrich our understanding. Power and wisdom aren't always found in the most obvious, conventional, or pure places.
Okay, so as you reflect on this extraordinary tale, consider this provocative thought for yourselves. This story doesn't just challenge our conventional notions of purity and power. It suggests that profound wisdom and transformative power often lie hidden in the very leftovers, the unconventional paths or the seemingly transgressive parts of existence that we, in our limited human understanding, might initially overlook or even condemn. What might you be overlooking in your own life that, if embraced, could unlock unexpected strength or a unique path forward? We hope you enjoyed this deep dive, and we look forward to exploring more fascinating sources with you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Are you battling constant stress, facing financial roadblocks, struggling in relationships, or stuck in your career? Harness the power of authentic Rudraksh, powerful planetary remedies, and timeless Vedic astrology. Limited stock. Don't miss out. Visit kalmantra.com today to restore balance, invite abundance, and transform your life.